Hey guys, welcome back to another mall video. So today we're heading to Findlay, Ohio to check out the Findlay Village Mall. Now this video was actually recorded in late February of 2020, and obviously that was before all the events that are happening now were occurring, and also that would explain why there's snow on the ground. But it was the same day that I went to Lima, Ohio to film the Lima Mall, and I had no knowledge of this place. I just saw it on the map that morning, and I figured it wasn't much of a drive, so I went over and checked it out. So join me as we check out this mall filled with carpet and oddly placed pillars in Findlay, Ohio. Now when I got to this mall, I just chose a random entrance, which happened to be where the original movie theater used to be. And I kept hearing music, and I thought, what is that? I thought it was in somebody's car, but the theater is actually now a church, and they were actually playing music in there. I wish I could have gotten some video of it, because if you look into the entry doors, the original movie theater lobby is still there with all the drink and snack areas and the counter for concessions and everything. It was kind of odd to see all of that in there, but it is now a church. And when you walk into this back entrance, it actually felt like walking down a jetway at an airport, like I was going to get on a plane or something. I didn't know if I was supposed to be back there. It felt really strange being in that hallway because it didn't seem right. And when you walk into the actual mall, what I noticed, actually there's a security guard there on the left. There was a lot of security in this mall, I'll say that right up front. But what I noticed is the mall has its main area, like the middle of the mall, and then all the little corridors that go off of the main areas, those are pretty much all dead. The main areas seem to be pretty busy, but all the areas that go off of that, either there were no stores, no people, nothing. It all just looked completely empty on all those little areas off of the main section of the mall. And coming in to the mall, the first thing I noticed, obviously, which you can't not notice, is the floor. Now, I've seen carpet work before in malls somewhat. I'm not a big fan of it. I'll never understand why anyone would feel like it's a good idea, but I've seen it work sort of, as long as it's kept really clean and it doesn't look really tacky and ugly. Unfortunately, this mall's carpet looks tacky and ugly. I counted like 4 different styles throughout the mall as far as the carpet. I don't know why they chose them, but each one looks like a old airport, an old hotel lobby, or in some areas it actually looked like if you've ever ridden a charter bus that was from the 1990s or so, the seats have that same like 90s style on it. This looked like the seats of an old charter bus. It looked really bad. I don't understand. I'll never understand the thought process behind putting carpet in a mall. And of course there's the pillars. Now, I don't understand that either. I don't know why they thought that would be a good idea, because it looks really odd. It's kind of like, were they trying to make this, at some point did they say, we're going to make this look like a Greek mall? I don't know. It looks very strange, and it just kind of looks like they take up space. I don't know if they're actually structural, like they're holding up the ceiling, or, I mean, if that's the case, I don't know why they would need so many. But they have pillars all throughout this middle section, and it's just very strange. I've never seen anything like that in a mall. Now, a little bit of history of this mall. This mall was built in 1962, and it was originally called the Fort Findlay Village Shopping Center. Now, it was actually originally an outdoor mall, which is pretty interesting to me. And I'm wondering, because this picture here, I'm wondering, you notice all those supports that are along the sides holding up the ceiling, or holding up that section? I don't know if those were actual structural things either, or just decorative. I'm wondering if those supports are where these pillars are now. I really don't know. If anybody knows that had actually been to this place when it was an outdoor mall, I'd really like some insight into that, because it seems like maybe those pillars replaced those supports. I don't know. But in the 1970s, it was actually converted into an enclosed mall, so It actually had a Kmart at one point, which, as far as the actual anchors now, pretty much the only thing left is a TJ Maxx, which is actually where the Kmart used to be. And they also list a Best Buy as being an anchor, but Best Buy is like outside of the mall, so I don't know. They didn't have any kind of a mall entrance, so I don't know. I don't know if I would actually consider that an anchor, but apparently they do. And the funny thing is, this is pretty common though. Actually, there was a Dunham's also, but that's not surprising. Dunham's seems to always be in dead malls. But the funny thing is, which is really not surprising, when you go to the directory on the website, they actually have all the old stores still listed, like JCPenney, Sears, Elder Beerman. Why don't mall owners take the 5 minutes to go on and update their directories on the website? Now, as far as security in this place, there was a lot of security. Now, look straight ahead there. I'll say this real quick. All those pillars, why are they all there? It's almost like they got a really good deal on pillars at the pillar outlet store or something and just thought, you know what, we're going to fill this place with pillars. I don't get it. It looks really tacky. There on the left, there is a arcade, and coming up here on the right, there's actually a Japanese steakhouse, which was kind of unexpected. It looked like it used to be, as far as the outside, I'm wondering if it used to be like a MCL cafeteria or something like that. It kind of had that same style of the front of the building, of the front. I'm not sure if that's what that was, but it actually smelled good. I didn't go in there, but as far as food options in this place, other than that steakhouse, there were a few little snack places like pretzels and stuff like that, but pretty much that was it. Now, as we head out of this pillar section, the pillar wing of the mall, straight ahead there is security. Now, there was a lot of security in this place. I saw at least 3 or 4 security people just walking around, which that's a good thing. It's kind of surprising. Usually in these places you'll see one, maybe. But I can't help but notice, and I mentioned this before, and I'm starting to realize this in a lot of these malls, is how much these older malls that are sort of on their way out or sort of dying, they just remind me of old airports. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just the huge amount of empty space like most airports used to have, or the carpet, or the lighting, or what, but this really does feel like an old airport. Now, one thing I'm going to do in this video, usually in my mall videos, I try to keep the talking going the whole time, but I actually recorded this entire walkthrough in one take, which I've actually never done before, and it ended up being almost 25 minutes of just walking through every section. Obviously, I had to cut out some of it for this video, but what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to just let it go. I'm going to play through it and let you guys see the entire mall as it is. So I'm going to let this play, and I'll cut it in here and there if I have anything to mention, but I'll just let you guys enjoy the Findlay Village Mall. Now at this point, if you notice, I kind of stopped short. I actually was ready to leave because I had actually already been through pretty much the entire area. And I'm embarrassed to say that I got lost. I couldn't find where I actually came in because it was kind of a back entrance. So I thought, okay, maybe this will take me to it. Instead, it took me to some weird back hallway, which I wasn't even sure if I was supposed to be in. There were restrooms back there. And I don't know, it was very strange. I don't know if this is a public area or an employee area or what. But I actually ended up going back trying to find my way out of here, and all it did was take you in like different circles and everything, and I was actually embarrassed to say that I was actually lost in the Findlay Village Mall trying to find my way out. To see, if you go back that way, it takes you back to one of the other corridors, and then if you turn left here, it takes you to another area with another dead anchor. I was so confused. All I wanted to do was get out. I'm wondering if this is maybe a like a tornado shelter or something. I don't know. It was very odd that this was even open to the public, but I did see a few people back there, so maybe they were lost too. I don't know. For the most part, this mall wasn't really dead. I don't know what I would really consider it. I guess just average. There were a lot of empty stores, but the mall was actually a pretty good size. So for the most part, there were a lot of stores that were open, and there were actually a lot of people there. This was recorded on a Saturday. When I do these videos, I go on Saturdays typically, because I don't go like on a Tuesday at 9 p.m. when I know it's going to be dead, just for the sake of doing a dead mall video. I think that's kind of cheating. I go when I know it's going to be busy, and it was pretty busy that day, so I don't really know what I would consider this mall. Just kind of average, not really dead, not really thriving, just kind of hanging in there. It'll be interesting though, given that the current situation that's happening right now in the world. I really am interested to see how a lot of these malls are going to survive. Obviously, most of them are closed right now, but it'll be interesting to see if they're able to reopen and do well again after the current situation ends and things kind of start to get back to normal. Hopefully they will. Now at this point, I thought, okay, maybe I found my way out of here again, from the way I came in. I honestly don't know how I got lost in this place. Every corridor looks the same, honestly, so I was able to find this jetway as I go down to board my flight. I was glad to be out of here. Now, like I was saying though, the security here was pretty good. However, these kids here were obviously shoplifting. They were opening packages that they didn't want anyone to see over there. But that aside, the security wasn't too bad in this place. Now, I did want to show this. This is the store that used to be Big R. That looks really nice there. That looks like an Egyptian store, like a Dillard's or something. But they were selling chickens in this store, which I thought was kind of funny. I don't know why. It was like, if you want a chicken, go here. Stock and Field. That must be something that Indiana doesn't seem to have those. I've actually never been to one of those stores. Overall, this mall wasn't too bad. It wasn't thriving, but it wasn't really dead. It was just big. It actually had a lot of space to fill, and unfortunately they didn't have a lot of stores to fill it, which is pretty common. But for the most part, there were a lot of people there, and it wasn't in too bad of shape, other than the ugly carpet and pillars. I'll never understand that. But besides the bad choices in decorating, this wasn't a bad mall. So I thank everybody for watching. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. With all the current events going on, I hope everyone is staying home and staying safe and healthy. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day, great week, and thanks again.